I'm Hulani May, and I am a metal sculptor and fabricator. I have 3 permanent sculptures in Dunwoody, the newest one being Reflections in Two Bridges Park. And I also have 2 traveling sculpture exhibits, Forest Forms and Forest Forms Woodland Wonders, which is currently at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens Gainesville location until October 5th. My work conveys form, rhythm, and movement of the natural world, and I really enjoy creating public art to have the community enjoy something extra and to be able to bring beautiful things to society that everyone can enjoy. I really like to create art for all. Today I would like to give you guys a tour of my studios and the process behind my artwork. As you can see here, I create miniature mock-ups of my sculptures. This is a mock-up of Reflections that's at Two Bridges. And some of these are my mock-ups from sculptures in Forest Forms. This is a snake tunnel that I created. It's 21 feet long. I hand draw all of my sculptures and do all of my engineering drawing on paper. This process really helps me figure out the build and make sure that my thought process can be reiterated into something real. Here are some fox mock-ups that I have made. These sculptures are currently in Cleveland, Ohio and Gainesville, Georgia. These sculptures range in size from 14 feet tall to 9 feet tall. I hand draw everything on the ground, and then I take metal and match my curves and bend it to bring the 2D drawing to 3D life. So for my Forest Forms and Forest Form Woodland Wonders, they are 2 traveling sculpture exhibits that are traveling the country. Forest Forms is 18 sculptures that range in size from 10 feet to 21 feet in size. And the sister show Woodland Wonders is 21 sculptures that ranges in size from 4 feet to 10 feet in size. All of the sculptures are modular for traveling purposes. The exhibits get rented out to museums, gardens, zoos, any entity that is wanting to attract more visitors to their venue and to bring awareness to public art. So we have essentially 39 traveling sculptures. When I move Forest Forms, I have a team of 3 to 5 people, and we go to a venue and we have 2 days to pack the exhibit. So we'll go around and grab all 18 sculptures, we crate them, package them for their next move, and we rent a 54-foot tractor trailer that we then load the exhibit into, and then we follow the truck to the next exhibit. Once we arrive at the next venue, we have about 3 days to unload the truck, and then we break up into 2 teams, and we have one team that installs the 3 largest sculptures, which is a 21-foot tower of flowers, this snake sculpture, and I also have a 10-foot tall dragonfly sculpture that is on a 3,000-pound cement slab. So there's a lot of heavy equipment being used. And then I work with the venue's team to install all of the other smaller sculptures that can be managed by 1 to 2 people. Once we install the exhibit and have all the locations placed, the venue then goes behind and covers all the footings with pine straw. We put stanchions on and guardrails so people can take photos, but they can't walk up and touch the artwork. And then we put signage up so people can walk around, learn about the artwork, and learn about the animals and plants that I've based the sculptures off of. So it's a very educational experience, and it's really great for families and date night and anyone to just get out and be able to go see artwork and be outdoors. Over here, I'll show you one of my newest machines. I just got a CNC plasma cutting table that you can see right here. This table is an 8-foot by 4-foot table that can cut up to 1-inch thick materials. For the reflection sculptures, I was able to utilize this equipment by designing my sculpture on the ground and then cutting sheet metal to be able to create the D that you see in the park. If you look over here, these are called skins, and this is what the machine cuts out of, and this is how I can get some of my artwork after I design it. We're able to take the sheets and move it onto the table, and it's connected to a plasma cutter. So we'll put our design into the computer, and then the plasma cutter will follow our design and cut it out of metal. So we can take the metal off and use it right away. We keep all of our skins so we can utilize it for other projects and recycle all the materials that we can try and recycle. We like to reduce, reuse, recycle as much as we can. With my metal shop, I had to build my stands to hold my metal. So over here, I've built these stands that hold all of my materials. This metal is probably about 5,000 to 6,000 pounds over here with everything combined. And I use a lot of hand bending techniques. So this is metal dowels that I bend hot and cold. So when you look at some of my work, it is all bent by hand. I use specific jigs, but it all starts from long 21-foot pieces of metal. So here is a mock-up of one of my large fox sculptures. To accomplish these bends, I typically use my hydraulic pipe roller, or I use a jig similar to this, and where I can take the round stock that is straight, and then I'm able to put it in the jig and do hand bending techniques. So I can follow it through and do my own specific bends for each sculpture. With the thickness of this material, I can do it coals where I don't have to heat it up. But once the metal gets shorter or smaller or thicker, then I have to utilize heat to go into the process of it. So I can slowly bend things to accomplish curves such as this, where I would draw the curves on the ground and then I can match them. So then the sculpture comes out how I envisioned it. So I do a lot of bending techniques. I also use what is called a rawhide hammer. This hammer is helpful for doing forging techniques. For instance, with grounded gathering at Brick Run Park, it is a large leaf bench, and every seat on there was hand forged with this hammer. I heated up the metal with a torch and then hammered it around the pipe. So when you look at it, you can see that the leaves kind of have come alive and are gripping the edges of the bench. So we utilize a lot of these tools. I have a ton of different hammers and hammering techniques and tools that we like to use. We also use this a lot. This is called a swage block. This block of metal is about 75 pounds and it has a bunch of different divots in it. So I can take flat pieces of metal and hammer it to shape forms that I'm trying to accomplish. With grounded growth, the flower petals were forged and hammered over this swage block that you see here today. So this machine is how I bend all of my metal when it's too thick to hand bend or too big to put in the forge. So I'm able to make all my large scale foxes and snakes, and actually grounded growth and grounded gathering that is in Brick Run Park by the Great Lawn Amphitheater. I was able to utilize this machine to create those sculptures. This is a hydraulic angle roller, and I'm able to put pipe, angle iron, square stock, rectangle stock, and bend it into large rings and curves that you typically can't accomplish by hand or by other types of benders. Being a blacksmith, metal sculptor and fabricator, I really enjoy the process of manipulating the metal with heat. It's one of my favorite steps in my process. I love to use my forge, which is, you can see right here. I'm able to put metal in there that looks like this, and I can hammer it to get to this shape right here. I like to utilize my air hammer where I can taper and flatten this metal to get to the shape you see here. And I like to use my anvil to sculpt the metal when it's red hot. Even though it seems like metal can be a really intimidating material, I love getting to work with it. When it gets hot, you can really manipulate it and put your own touch into it. And then it just has a life of its own afterwards. And that's what really draws me to being a metal worker. I love all the steps of it. It's heavy, it's hot, it can be dangerous, but I take every step to try and be safe along the way. And I really love being able to share my passions with metalwork with everyone in the community of Dunwoody and surrounding areas. And I feel honored that I get to have sculpture exhibits that travel the country. So it's been really great to see my artwork be able to move and travel everywhere. Also on my table, so I have a bunch of ant sculptures in Woodland Wonders, and I draw them on the table. As you can see, there's drawings over drawings over drawings. And I will hand draw it on the table and then take my metal to match the curves and weld it flat on here and then bring it to life to make it three-dimensional. I just picked up this piece of equipment too that is a huge magnet. When I'm working on metal, I will have areas that I have to clean and it gets tiny. It's hard to manage with my big tools. So I'm able to put it on something like this and then turn a magnet on that then holds it in place. So then I can easily manipulate it without having my hands get in the way and let the tool really do the work. So something as small as this is very impactful in my process, which is really great. The table is a little chaotic, but I guess that just means I'm busy with work. Over here, as you can see behind this bike, is my welder. So this is what I like to use for all of my projects. It can do 3 different types of welding. So I can go back and forth with my techniques. So I can be doing 2 types of welding at the same time. It really helps do the process to go a lot quicker. I don't have to switch machines. And I also have a cart on this so I can take it with me on the go when I have to do on-site welding. Being a welder, you have to know a lot of different processes, knowing how to weld in different environments, utilizing heat and weather. So it's really great to be able to utilize this and have a machine that gets me through every day. As a local artist, I feel really connected to the art community. When I first started my career, I hosted art markets with Moondog Growler in Dunwoody, and that's how I was able to get connected with Dunwoody to create the permanent sculptures that you see there today. It was really awesome to bring artists together for the community. And Dunwoody is such a supportive city that all the artists really love coming out and working on my events. We did food drives. I loved going to my friends' houses in Dunwoody and seeing the artists that are showcased in their homes. I've met a lot of my personal clients through Dunwoody working at these events. And I feel really honored that I could say that I have 3 permanent sculptures in the city. They're the first permanent sculptures ever in Dunwoody. And it's just really special to bring awareness to public art. I believe public art really connects livelihoods and brings people together. It allows society to take a break from the ever constant moving world that we live in today, to just take a pause and enjoy artwork and enjoy nature. And those are one of my main goals when I create public artwork. I want a sense of peace and a sense of awe and reflection to give to people when they see my work. I really hope you guys enjoyed my studio tour today. Again, my name is Hue May, and I am a metal sculptor and fabricator local to Dunwoody. You can stay in touch with me at huedesignsaTL.com, and my Instagram is huedesignsaTL. I hope you all have a wonderful day and keep enjoying public art.